Hi, my name is Tommaso.
And my name is Chris.
Welcome to HEARIN'spire. If you're considering living abroad for a short or a long period, you are in the right place. In this podcast, we will share our personal experiences and tell how stressful, but also amazing, it can be to move your whole life to a different country. Stay tuned.
So, welcome everyone to the next Inspire podcast episode. My name is Chris. I will be the host today for this session. We are actually shooting and recording today from Maastricht during the Inspire Summer School. And right now I have two nice guests with me in the room, which is Ellen and Anna. So, welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, as a representative of Maastricht University, I decided to take a word first. So, I'm Anna Savchenko. I'm originally from Russia, and I moved to Maastricht 1 year and a half ago. And before I was in Japan, so some traveling experience. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for having for joining the podcast. Ellen, can you say some sentence about you? Introduce yourself.
First, thank you for inviting. I'm Elham. I'm originally from Iran. Then I traveled to Italy and then Spain, and now I'm based in Germany. We have summer school here in Maastricht, so I'm here.
All right, thank you. So you're both from different countries, and you moved to different countries. You LMU to Germany, and Anna, you to Netherlands. So I'm very curious about your experience moving to a different country. But before we dive into more the personal stories, what we do in a podcast as a kind of an icebreaker game is I will ask you 10 quick questions.
Okay.
Which you have the choice between A and B, and the idea is to just answer as quick as possible, so the listeners can get to know you a little bit better for the start, and then we dive into.
You want to start, Anna?
Great. Let's go.
All right, we start with you, Anna. I prepared some questions, and as I said, the idea is as quick as possible, right?
Okay.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Wine or beer?
Complicated beer.
Car or bike?
Bike.
Coffee or tea?
Tea, of course.
Mountains or sea?
Sea.
Bitter or sweet?
Bitter.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Live concerts or Spotify?
Live concerts, of course.
And television or Netflix?
Netflix.
And the final question for you, za zdrowie or na zdrowie?
That was a special question for me. Za zdrowie.
Za zdrowie. All right, thank you. That went well. Thank you very much, Anna. We changed to Ellen, and we do basically the same game. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Ellen. Winter or summer?
Summer.
Sweet or bitter?
Food, dessert, what?
Yeah. Like food.
Sweet.
Sweet. Sea or mountains?
River.
River. You're changing the rules. Okay, I like it. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Netflix or television?
Netflix.
Live concert or Spotify?
Spotify.
Car or bike?
Bike, indeed.
Wine or beer?
None.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza and pasta.
And for the animal lovers, cats or dogs?
Both.
Both, actually.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I hope we broke the ice a little bit. So now we can dive into the more personal stories you can share. And I'm pretty sure you have many experience gained in the last couple of 1-2 years now. But before we actually do so, my first question is: have you guys ever been on a podcast before?
Yeah, I was.
So you were on a podcast, okay, right?
Yeah,
so
actually I was, but it was Iranian Instagram channel, so we just stuck together in Persian language. But yeah, it's actually the first time that I'm in a international podcast. Yeah.
And was it like live on the same location, or was it like online podcast?
It was online.
Online.
Yes.
So for you, it's the first time being
true,
actually in a room and with a microphone and all that fancy
yeah.
equipment here.
Yeah.
And for you, Anna, have you been on a podcast before?
No, we are breaking ice in terms of my experience as well.
Here we go. And so, how does it feel? As I said, with all the equipment, the mic, and
It's like,
microphones?
yeah, it's a good question. It's like from one side, it's kind of feels professional,
Mhm.
like I'm giving an official like interview kind of, but from the other side of like like I know you, we know each other,
Mm.
so it's like a chit chat about what we're doing here, who we are, and
Exactly, a little bit small talk. And talk about small talk. You both, as I said before, moved to a different country, and then for you to Germany, Anna for you to the Netherlands. So first question is, have you actually been to that country before you started your PhD project?
Yeah, I was as a tourist. Before before moving here, I was as a tourist here, and just a bit explored there with my family and friends. Yeah.
And what was the first impression from Germany, being a tourist?
Obeying rules, I
All
can
right.
say, and punctuality.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that actually I count them as positive things. But yeah, it was a very, um, yeah, like you could say for the first day
Yeah.
in Germany. Yeah.
I think we should add that our host is German, so he was very excited now.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
sure.
I am.
So you know better.
Now, like, of course, I have a personal interest in asking the question: what was the first impression of being in Germany? And I think you did not go to Biber, where you're staying right now, because
Yeah,
you probably do go to the tourist places.
True.
Okay, for you, Anna, have you been to the Netherlands before you actually started the project?
Actually, no. So we have interesting team here. Elham saying yes to all questions, and I'm saying no to everything. So I've been to neighboring country. I've been to Germany, but to the eastern side, but to the Netherlands, no. So all my impressions about the country, I made it only from Google, from reading, and from meeting a couple of Dutch people in Japan where I was before.
Mm.
That's how I made my. But I was considering other countries. But how maybe it's interesting to know how I made my decision.
Mm. Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, I was thinking between Austria, Denmark, and Netherlands. And then I was like, what do I like a lot? Bikes. I like nice views, nature. And then I also checked the language. I listened to Danish, I listened to German, and I listened to Dutch. I was like, maybe I prefer the Netherlands.
So you base your decision not solely, but also a little bit on the language.
It was a brave
Yeah.
comment, no? In front of German.
But it's actually a good topic. Like, speaking of language, and since you've been now for about 2 years now in a new country, a new language. So how's the language going? Can you share some words, sentences?
Ja, zeker. Komt goed.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a just an advice, and I think it's good when you're moving to a new country to take a language course. That's what I did, because at the beginning you always have some time. So I did half a year of language course, and yeah, I didn't pass the last part of my exam, but
keep trying.
I will keep trying.
Keep trying.
I think I can talk, so it's okay. I'm
Nice.
managing.
And for you, Ellen,
Yeah,
how's the German going?
Yeah, still I keep going. I'm attending some online course, and yeah, it's good. I really like. At the beginning, I felt like it's so hard German language,
Mm.
but now I can say Guten Tag, wie geht es dir?
Yeah, so good.
Crazy.
Yeah, we
good.
have of course some moments we can talk German to each other, and I'm actually very impressed of your German. I did not expect.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
because people, as we were saying, people like to say, "Oh, German is very difficult," which
Yes.
it is, even like for me as a native speaker. And then we talked a little bit German last year in the summer during the summer school, but now
Improved.
now it's like wow, it's like
Dankeschön.
1000% like approach. So I'm very expressed about your and language skills.
Oh, you made my day. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And talking about Anna, you mentioned already that as a kind of a preparation to go to a new country, it was to join a language course. So how, in general, how did you prepare for that big step to go to a new country?
Yeah, yeah. Some people actually like arrive to country and it's like, oh, I feel unprepared. Like, oh, what should I have done? And yeah, that's a good question. So I would recommend to read about the country, to read about the place where you're going. It's good to know what is the environment, even what is restaurants. Like, is there, I don't know, hospital nearby? Will you be able to socialize, to find friends in where you're gonna live, in the university, around your apartment, or wherever you work? I think it's very important. But what I personally did, so I was reading, I was watching videos on YouTube, like how to speak Dutch, who are Dutch.
May I comment on it?
Yes.
I think that yes, indeed, it's important to prepare yourself and read a bit about where you're going and prepare yourself. But you should always prepare yourself for like something that is surprise you. You know what I want to say? Like prepare yourself. That is not always 100% what you read. Just and yeah, just explore and
Yep.
try to figure it out
Like
in
be
that
open,
moment. Yeah. Be open for everything, yeah, and prepare yourself for that.
One advice: lower
Please.
your expectations.
Right, okay.
It's like to be surprised, lower your
Okay,
expectations.
that's
Yes.
good thing for the readers, and not for the reader, for the listeners. And talking about expectations, talking about planning, and of course we have to talk about Corona, which none of us probably expected, but we have to deal with this, not only us but anyone on the planet. So the question is, so how did actually the Corona situation affected your life in that
Yeah.
in the new country? Can you share?
For me personally, it was really tough situation because I was in Madrid in Spain, and I was about to move to Germany in that time at the beginning of Corona time. It was really hard to do everything like taking visa and move. Yeah, I had like appointment in a German embassy, and then they cancel it, and I had flight and I have to come. It was a very very hard situation. Every day I have to go out with I mean for a purpose, of course, and a bit scary because you should keep and like stay at home. Um, yeah, I can say that it was a very tough moment for me. And after that, I came to Germany. I could settle out and then be in quarantine and in a safe place, which was a bit better. And then after that, yeah, use a 52 mask was actually, I think, too much than the other countries. But I really also saw it as a positive because I think that Germany could really control the situation very well. Yeah, this is my experience about
Yeah,
that.
thank you,
What
Anna.
about you, Anna?
Do you have similar different experiences?
Oh, it's actually absolutely different. So we think that the corona affected everyone in a similar way, but no, absolutely no. At the time, yeah, when I was moving from Japan, it was September 2020, end of September, and in Japan, everyone would put on masks, and if you sneeze on the train, everyone would sit away from you. It actually happened to me. And then when I arrived here, it was interesting because on the day when I was coming, all planes were cancelled, apart from my plane. So I was like, okay, it was a lucky one. And yeah, it was a plane direct Tokyo to Amsterdam. And imagine I was in the country where everyone puts on masks and everyone is like so reserved. We had special lists who are allowed to enter the lab, who are not. I was among the people who were allowed, luckily, to graduate. And then when I arrived here, no one puts on a mask, and I'm alone walking the city in a mask. So you can imagine, at the time, the restaurants were open, so nothing was there, no masks, everything is open. It was such a cultural shock for me, like such a change. And then 2 weeks after my arrival, everything got closed.
So then we had the lockdown and everything was, yeah, as you were saying, was
Yes.
closing down. And
Yes.
probably similar to your experience in Japan then. Everyone using the mask, etc., properly as well.
Yes, yes. I was actually surprised how it happened. Like the day, like when the government announced, okay, tomorrow everyone puts on a mask. So there were conferences, like what's called perskonferentie every 2 weeks to announce the corona measures.
Yep.
It was interesting for me because it would be announcement, and then the next day everyone comes in masks. And if you don't, some people will look at you like, "What's wrong with you?" So I like that people here stick to the rules. Yes, it's something positive about this country.
All right, nice. And so now we kind of we don't have a lockdown anymore. So basically now, especially in the Netherlands, you were saying already, like kind of relaxed and open. How do you experience now the situation compared to lockdown? Do you have the feeling that you're feeling more
Free.
let's more free, let's more
Yeah,
home, you can
the
discover the country more easy, and I think it's a relief for everyone. And how did the kind of open up the regulations changes your daily life?
Yeah, I think that the first positive thing is that now you have communication with other people. You can explore. You can go out. Some like social activity. Yeah, I think it's nice. Like we really miss this time. It's 2 years. It's too much.
And I think it's especially it helps you with the language, right? Because if you have
No, it was online from beginning, and it still is.
but I mean, like now because we open up, you have more
Yeah, I
connection
understand
to
the point, yeah.
to
Okay.
colleagues, other people. It helps you with the language.
Yeah, and integrate
you
the like spending time, speak about the different cultures, try to understand each other, the different cultures. Yeah, true. And now you.
Yes, I mean, I was talking and thinking about this at Corona measures and everything was introduced very drastically. Everyone was talking about it. It was such a shock. But then when everything finished, and when Omicron came over, and suddenly boom, like Corona. Have you heard about it? It's like, who is that? And I was actually surprised, and I had a feeling that I think also society needs to appreciate that how the healthcare system was able to fight it, how all countries united and scientific community to speed up the approval of vaccines, to discuss it. And yes, I also feel we need to have some appreciation that now we are good, we are alive and functioning and very happy sitting here smiling and talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, of course, Corona was a different situation. We hope we are over with this. So which brings me to a more nicer questions, or maybe even not. I'm very curious. So since you're now living 2 years in a totally different country, far away from your home place, how often do you actually travel back? Are you able to do? And if not, how do you keep the contact with your families, with your friends at home?
Yeah, so actually both me and Elham were kind of from faraway countries outside of Europe. And yes, for me, for now, I cannot go home, but I hope I will be able in the future to visit Russia someday. But apart from that, I used to go maybe like once in half a year. Tickets are super expensive, but what is a nice thing during this time, not only during Corona and pandemic, it's WhatsApp. You have internet communication. You can do video calls. You can do chats. And I haven't seen one of my grandmothers like for 3 years. But every time she talks to me, I have a feeling she's next to me almost. It helps. It really helps. And I also text my friends. Like we text once every couple of months. And I still feel if when I go home to visit them, our friendship will still be the same.
Nice. Okay. Ellen, do you have similar experiences, or how do you keep connected to your family, relatives at home?
Yeah, as Anna already mentioned, I'm very far also from my family, and I really miss them. Yeah, such a pity. There's not that much opportunity to visit them quite often, but I do all my best to visit them at least like once per year. But yeah, let's be optimistic and say that thanks to technology, we have WhatsApp, and we can always chat together or speaking together or visit each other. Even online is better than nothing, I think. Yeah.
And since you both don't have the opportunity to go back many times in the past, of course, but maybe probably also in the future, in the next 2 years. So what is something you actually miss from your home country compared to the Germany, compared to?
I'm not sure if you feel amused if I
Cuisine?
say food.
Exactly.
Food. Fine. I'm sorry, but food.
Food. So you don't like the German cuisine,
Uh,
or maybe you have not been used to it yet. But maybe you never.
well,
It's like,
it's the best answer I think is that I like also German foods, but your question at the beginning was like what I miss. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
sure.
miss like the type of Persian foods, but it doesn't mean that I don't like German foods. Yeah.
What do you have like a particular for all the Iranians or Persian listening? Do you have a particular cuisine or dish you if you have if you have a dream or a wish you can make what you can have for lunch or dinner tonight? What kind of meal would you like to eat tonight from your
Yeah, I
home?
would say that it's korma sabzi instead of me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very traditional food, korma sabzi. Yeah.
All right. Anna, and do you have anything you?
I miss my grandma's pelmeni.
Grandma's what?
Pelmeni.
What's pilmini?
It's a type of dough with meat inside.
Ah, okay.
She makes it herself.
Mm.
It's a very lengthy process to make.
And can you actually buy this type of food in the Netherlands? But it's not as good, of course.
There is one Asian supermarket.
Mm.
I wouldn't say Russia is Asian.
Mm.
So there is, I'm trying to find alternatives, but it's not easy. Also, some ingredients like red beet, you cannot find it here. And like red beet is the main ingredient for Russian-Ukrainian dish borscht, like it's a soup. And no, I cannot make it here, but I'm adapting. I'm cooking some Japanese stuff. I started to eat sandwiches. Shame on me. So, but the thing that I miss, I would say, is more. I always thought that in Europe everything is much better, and then in my home country maybe like so. But I realized that also we have a nice culture, we have a nice traditions, and what I miss also maybe like infrastructure in the sense of in Russia everything is open 24/7 hours.
All right. Okay. That makes
Yes.
a big difference to here. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm quite a night person, so it's like let's say I finish working at 8, 9, and then I want to have some snacks or food. I want to do my grocery, and it's not easy here. So I imagine if you want to get something, especially at 11 or delivered,
Yes, yeah.
forget about.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Didn't know myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt a big difference, and also in the sense of availability of some small stuff, because like for instance, my home country is close to China, so you can buy literally anything, starting from rings and ending up I don't know with fancy pants, or I don't know some funny devices. Here it's really hard to find.
Okay. Nice. So we are also like the podcast is running quickly. I'm not sure how you feel in time, but it's for me it's always like going very it's flying, because I like actually and listen to your experiences. So I would like to round up a little bit, but before I do so, I have a last question for you, since we might have people listening which also would like to go to a different country, maybe for student purposes, for PhD, postdoc, or any other thing related to job or any other reason. Do you have any advice for them how they can prepare, what they can do before the move to a new country? Or question differently is, what would you have done, or the next time, what would you do differently when you move to a new country?
Yeah, actually, it's a very good question. I would say that the first thing that they should really consider, actually, it's a personal opinion, is integrity. I think that, as a person who traveled a lot, and actually I was living in different countries, I would say that integrity is the most things that people accept you as, like, they don't look at you like this weird person. And try to, keep going and understand their culture. Why not? It doesn't mean that you forget the previous culture, it, but you add another culture, you understand better about environment, and you can find friends always easier. And like the environment, you can be in the environment better, I think. This is the first thing that I would say as advice. Nana.
Yes, actually, that's a great beginning. Huh? I have something to add because, like Ilham was talking about integrity and how you feel if you feel accepted to in a new country where you're going to. I feel it's very important, and like one thing, one advice would be try to find people on the internet or around you somewhere, people from those country, and talk to them and see if you like their personality, if you're matching. Because I talked to a couple of Dutch when I was in Japan, and I was like, wow, they're nice people, mm, open-minded, and yeah, I liked it. Yes, so make sure you will be matching with the majority of people somehow in a sense of mentality.
Okay, so that's a nice message to take home for the listeners. And since now we're at the end of the podcast, and Ellen, for you it was the second one actually, but the first one live, and Anna, for you it was the first one. So how did you feel? How was it going? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was nice. It was very good chat and yeah, fun. It was good. Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a good time. Moment as is for me, Anna. Do you want to add something?
Yes, I mean, not many things to add. There are so many nice questions. Yes, I wish we could actually talk more, maybe in the next episodes if you're invited.
Yeah. Well, there's always
But together,
there's
please.
there's always a next episode. So
Exactly. But yeah, I'm happy we could share a bit of our culture and a bit of our feelings moving to a new place. Yes, just never be worried when you go to a new place. It's very exciting, but you will be longing home. It will pass. Just be prepared. Everything will be great. So that's my take home message as well. And thank you, Chris, for being a great host
thank you.
and for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Ellen, for being here. Was a pleasure. Great to listen to your experience, because we all do the same. Like within the Inspire family, we all have the same kind of, not the same experience, but the same actions, going to different countries, and everybody has their own experiences. So thank you very much for being here,
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
for cheering me up, and I like to thank the listener and also the viewers at home for tuning in, and I invite you to join in for the next episode. So thank you very much.
Bye.
There you go.
Bye.
Stop.
Yeah, I stopped.
Looks like recording.